one more thing about spending on dates.
Yeah.
And there are many different views on it. There's some ladies who say it doesn't have to be an expensive date, but the man should pay, even if it's just coffee or lunch. And there's some people who say that each person should pay their own. Why should the man pay? Women are not earning their own money. If he pays, he's going to feel I owe him something. I'm going to feel I owe him something. Why don't we just go Dutch? I mean, there are very many different views on it.
Yes.
I wonder if, when I called into your show the other day, and I've heard this before, women saying, well, I'm not going to go on a date if the man isn't going to pay. I want him to pay.
Yeah.
And, her comment actually bothered me a little bit because, I think about the man's point of view is like, are women just going to use man for a meal ticket? Like a man has feelings too. He has a budget. And, what are we going to bring to the table? He's supposed to pay for us. This isn't the 1950s. I think that women also have to kind of be aware that a man has feelings too, and he doesn't want to be used. Now, my son told me, my son, who's now 29, ever since he was in high school, people have always gone Dutch. Like his wife works, he works. So there's more like a partnership kind of relationship. Maybe it depends on what kind of relationship people are looking for. If they want a partnership or more of a traditional relationship where the man pays and the woman stays at home. And maybe that's a factor in deciding it. But I think that's an important decision that people have to make when they're dating about who's going to pay.
Yes.
I think that's important because money is energy too.
Yes.
People, a man's most prized possession, besides maybe his penis, is his money.
That's true.
Right? Because he works for that. That's his labor. That's his effort. And to assume that he just wants to spend it on a woman without getting anything in return, I don't think that they want to.
That's true.
Or do they want to? Instead of you getting in the middle of this political debate here, why would I would think that a man who likes a woman, a woman who likes a man is going to want to have sex with him. And a man who likes a woman, he wants to pay for it. I don't think he should feel obligated or like that's his role, because then he's not doing it because he wants to. Kind of like the guy spending the night because he had sex, he wants to be a good guy, but he doesn't really want to spend the night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to comment on that at all.
Well, this is just me. What I advise ladies to do is it's because again, I'm a firm believer that in the initial stages, a woman controls the pace of the date. The man is going to follow the woman's lead. So if this is a man that the woman is attracted to, absolutely nothing wrong with that again. But I'm just a firm believer in the woman deciding the location, where the restaurant, where the date is going to take place, whether it be at a park, or whether it be at an ice cream parlor, whether it be at a restaurant, whether it be at a coffee shop. And what I recommend or advise ladies to do is you pick the place, for example, sandwich shop, coffee shop, restaurant that's close to where she lives, and that a place that is inexpensive, because I'm just a firm believer that dates, the purpose of dates is you got two people who are looking to see if there's an attraction, if they're looking to see if there's some type of mutual interest, they're trying to see if there's some common things that they have in common, some common bonds, things of that nature, hobbies, crafts, whatever, and they build on top of that. So I advise ladies is find a place that's inexpensive that you select, that's close to your place, and that at the end of the date, she pays for her sandwich, coffee, whatever was ordered, he pays for his. And the reason why is, as I stated, in today's world, you have so many men that think, okay, if I pay for the date, the woman owes me something. Especially if you go out on several dates with that guy. Third date, fourth date, he's paid for all the dates so far. there are so many men out there that think that, okay, this is the third date, this is the fourth date, I paid for everything. This is the date in which she actually owes me sex. She owes me sex just based upon the track record of I've paid for everything so far. So you got some men that think that way. You got some men that think that since they pay for the dates, that they're on this level and you're on this level as a woman. And so in order to me, I think in order to level out the playing field, in order to keep men from thinking that way, I just posted a video about a young lady who went out with a guy, and the guy went out to lunch with her. And after lunch, he said, let's go back to my place. She declined. What happened? The guy told her, get home the best way you can. In other words, he told her, you're going to walk home. You're not going to ride back with me. And to me, that was a mistake that she made, because that was the first date and she got in his car. She allowed him to pick her up. So I think a lot of times when women are looking at chivalry, okay, I'm the type of lady, I want the guy to pick me up. I want him to pay for the meal. But at the same time, you absolutely know nothing about this guy, how he thinks, how some of the previous experiences he's had in life has molded his thought process. You know, like I said earlier, if he pays for the date, he thinks that, okay, you owe me sex. Or I picked you up in my car, I paid for the date. Now you don't want to give me sex. You don't want to go home with me. You walk home. You get home the best way you can. So to avoid those type of things, I'm just a firm believer in, again, the lady selecting the place. She pays for whatever she had. He pays for whatever he had. After the date, he gets in her car. He gets in his car. He drives away. She gets in her car. She drives away. That's what I believe in myself, because it keeps down the confusion. Because again, the guy can seem so good. See, men are the masters of we can make ourselves look so good on the outside, but you absolutely as a lady know nothing about us inside. That's why so many guys have gotten away with rape. That's why so many guys have gotten away with robberies. This is why so many guys have gotten away with being the type of men who like to beat women, because they never saw it coming, because all they saw was a physically attractive guy, but they never saw that this guy has tendencies to rape. He can't take no for an answer. This guy has tendencies to hit women because he's a control freak. And so many women just get caught up on the outside. The guy is handsome. He has a great body. He has a small waist. He has, broad shoulders. And that's just superficial. That's on the outside. But you absolutely know nothing about this guy, what makes him tick on the inside. And to me, that's what the purpose of dating is. You getting to know this guy better. He gets a better chance to know you better.
Yeah, I like what you said about, well, if I were a man, I would not want to pay for some random woman I'm just meeting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah. And I'm a generous person. Like, I pay for my girlfriends, or we take turns, but I wouldn't want to pay for someone I don't know. And then also what you said about the person paying feels like he's in a superior position. There's a lot of power implied. When I pay, I have more money than you, I have more power than you. And looking back, one of the things I liked about my ex-husband when I first met him is he did always pay for me. And, it made me feel very protected, very safe, and maybe made me overlook that he wasn't maybe the best fit for me, because it's easy then to get seduced by, oh, he's taking care of me. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
And I think that I once did a Bumble date a couple years ago when I was trying to date with this gentleman, where we just took a walk on the beach. And I purposely chose that because I wanted to know, am I going to like this guy if we're not having a drink and we're not having dinner? Yes. Am I going to like this guy's company just walking on the beach? And I think that we have to kind of come back to some of those simple things, like, do I really like this person if we're just playing a board game? We're not having sex, we're not having drinks, we're not doing some exciting date. We're just doing a regular thing, like taking a walk or going for a run or something. And by taking the money and the sex out of it, I think people can more easily discover those things. And this is hard advice because women, like the women who watch my videos, they want a guy to pay.
Yes.
And one other question that comes up is, well, if I'm paying all along, how do I know that this guy isn't a stingy guy? You know, and, you know, you take a chance. Like, how do I know I'm not having sex with this guy till 3 months in or 4 months in? How do I know? You know, what if he sucks in bed? You know, what if he has sexual issues, or, you know, he doesn't want to kiss, or he always keeps his eyes closed, or whatever the thing is? You got to take a chance on these things, I guess. You're not going to know everything right away, is all I can really say. I used to think I have to start with sex because I didn't want to end up with another guy who sucked in bed like my ex-husband. But then I got to the point where I'm like, you know, I just have to trust life a little bit. I just have to kind of trust life a little bit.
Yes.
And just, you know, discover things. If it turns out he's stingy, just break up with him.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to keep you. What if, sorry.
No, I was about to say, you give excellent advice. Excellent advice.
You give excellent advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this interview. And anybody who's watching it, go on over and check Elderly Advice's channel.
Thank you.
And thank you.
The pleasure has been all mine. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you watching. And once again, I appreciate you having me on, and look forward to